Somebody to shove. Chapter 1. Getting over Chris. I wanted to give Chris one more chance. I put my books down on the dining room table. I was the only one home for the next 2 hours. I picked up the cordless phone and dialed his number, ready to repeat the lines I'd rehearsed all the way home.
Hello?
Hey, Chris. I was wondering... Dang. Tomorrow is Teachers in Service, and you know that video I made for you? The one where I dance and flash you and stuff? Well, I was wondering if you'd like to come over to my house and help me film the final scene, the one we talked about, where I take a bubble bath for you. You can help.
I can't. I'm really busy tomorrow. You know, the tape's just fine the way it is. I don't need the bubble bath on it. Anyway, I gotta go.
As I hung up the phone, I stood for a while, hoping it would ring again and Chris would confess his undying love for me. It didn't ring, and I knew I'd had enough. I couldn't wait on Chris any longer. I picked the phone back up and called my mom. Can I go to Heidi's church tomorrow night? They're having a lock-in, and she invited me. I know you don't like her church, but the lock-in sounds like a lot of fun.
I guess so. I thought you decided not to go.
I changed my mind. She said there's going to be games, and lots of kids my age, and pizza, and she really wants me to come to her church.
Okay. I'm not real happy about this, but you have to make your own decisions.
Thanks. I called Heidi to let her know and to find out what I needed to pack.
This will be great.
Heidi said.
You can come over tomorrow morning since we're out of school. All you really need to bring is your sleeping bag and wear something comfortable that you don't mind sleeping in because we won't be changing. It needs to be something decent that's appropriate for church gathering. You can meet my friend Samantha. We'll all go together. You can teach me and Sammy yoga before we go.
We spent the rest of the afternoon planning every aspect of the next day. When morning came, my mom drove me to Heidi's before she went to work. I was traveling light for me. I had packed my sleeping bag, a notebook, my yoga book, my exercise outfit, and my round-frame sunglasses with pink lenses. I wore an oversized purple t-shirt and some denim shorts. I sat down across from Heidi as she finished her cereal. Her long, honey-colored hair was pulled into a ponytail. She was beautiful with a model's figure, a unique face, and a creamy tan. Her eyebrows were 3 shades darker than her hair. Her nose was a little bit wide, but it fit perfectly on her wide, heart-shaped face. She had a full, pouty mouth and a wide, bright smile. She was close to 6 foot tall. She wore a plain white t-shirt, red and white striped boxers, and no bra. When she had finished her cereal, we went into her room. It was at the right end of the trailer. It had beige carpet, a large closet, and a bay window. She had only a few items of furniture, her single bed, a chest of drawers, and a nightstand, but her closet was stuffed full of clothes. I sat on the floor while she changed. She had small breasts with small brown nipples. I was self-conscious of my own breasts because my nipples were much larger than any others I'd ever seen. She had on tiny yellow panties, and I could tell she shaved her bikini line. She put on a beige lace bra, a blue t-shirt, and some brown duck-head shorts. She looked at me.
I wish my breasts were bigger like yours. I'm so tall, they just look funny.
Yours are fine. You look like a runway model. They always have small breasts. I looked at my own chest. Besides, I'm always trying to make mine look smaller. For the first 3 years I had them, everyone thought I was flat-chested because I wore too small bra and huge t-shirts. She giggled and pointed at my outfit.
You still do the huge t-shirt part anyway.
We spent the rest of the day watching movies, playing with her dog, and waiting for Samantha to get out of school. As we sat in Heidi's living room, she asked me,
So why'd you change your mind?
I gave her a sheepish smile before looking at my feet. I finally gave up on Chris. I asked him to come over today, and he told me no. I just can't wait on him anymore. I want to find someone who actually likes me. I don't want to sit home anymore waiting for him to decide if he actually wants to talk to me. He's been getting meaner and meaner lately, too. I didn't even mention how he'd taken another girl to his junior prom. or how he'd ignored me when I'd gone to see him in The Miracle Worker. I didn't have to. Heidi put her arm around my shoulders and told me that I'd find someone so much better, and I wanted to believe her. Sammy got there around 4 o'clock. She was shorter than my own 5'2" frame. Her hair was the color of carbon. Her eyes were blue crystals behind small, round, wire-rimmed frames. She had a fine sprinkle of freckles over her nose and cheeks. She wore a button-up shirt and jeans. She was holding a plastic bag and a sleeping bag. Her mother was behind her carrying a small tape player and a case full of cassettes. Once her mother left and her stuff was in a corner of Heidi's room, she introduced herself.
My name's Samantha, but everyone calls me Sammy.
My name's Diana. Are you excited about tonight?
A little. You?
Very. I've never been to a lock-in. Sammy looked at Heidi with an expression that said only one thing. You have got to be kidding. I looked at the ceiling, trying to remain calm. This was not going well. I'd known this girl for less than an hour, and already she was on my last nerves. I had to spend the next 16 hours with her, and I didn't want us to be enemies this soon. I smiled as best I could and asked, "What kind of music did you bring?"
Christian rock. It's all I ever listen to. All the music out today is evil. What do you listen to?
I thought for a minute about my collection of alternative rock, trying to think of a connection I could make with this girl. I only had 2 Christian rock tapes. I like Amy Grant and Michael W. Smith. She smiled and nodded her approval.
I'm going to go change clothes. You can listen to my music if you want.
Heidi said.
When you come out, Diana's going to teach us how to do yoga.
Heidi smiled as Sammy jerked around.
Yoga? Is that some sort of satanic thing?
I closed my eyes so she couldn't see me roll them and inhaled before answering. No, it's a series of stretches. Some people who practice it are Hindu, but not everyone. Sammy didn't look satisfied.
What about you?
The holier-than-thou attitude was beginning to wear thin. Well, I'm not Hindu, although I have studied a little. I believe in a variety of things, including magic. Oh, and I usually take the wrong side in controversial matters. I smiled as her face contorted with revulsion.
What do you mean?
I believe that abortion is a woman's right and that neither the church nor the state should be able to take away. I think Jesus was a really cool guy, but I don't think he's my Lord or my Savior. I believe in reincarnation and karma. I believe in guardian angels, and mine's name is Byron. I believe that nothing is either truly good or truly evil, and I have no problem with homosexuals. I took a deep breath and smiled. She did ask, I thought. My smile widened. Why should I care what this girl thought of me? Her mouth hung open. She spun around and marched to the bathroom to change. I began undressing in Heidi's room. She shook her head.
You're crazy, you know. She's going to try to save you even more now. Even more than I do, because she doesn't know you're mostly harmless. You shouldn't have told her all that until she got to know you better.
She did ask. I wasn't going to lie to her. If you ask me, she's the one who's crazy. I pulled the gray sports bra over my head and the teal tank top over that. I was trying my damnedest to be nice, but you know me. I pulled up my teal and gray exercise shorts. I'm a heathen. Heidi recognized the fake rose tattoo that I always wore above my left breast to try to make people think that I really had a tattoo.
Don't tell Sammy that tattoo is fake if she asks. She'll have a cow.
I thought I should be trying to redeem my reputation with her so she won't try to save me. I did my best innocent look, and Heidi smiled. Sammy came back a few minutes later. She walked in with a planned expression of calmness, as if she had stopped outside the door a minute to compose herself. She looked puzzled for a second, then squeaked out,
What's that on your chest?
"A tattoo."
Oh my gosh, it's not real, is it?
Of course it's real. I got it a few weeks ago. That's why it's still bright. I had the story down pat. I've been telling the same lie since I bought my first package of Temp-2s. I had gone back a week later to buy every package they had of the same rose, so that I could keep up the deception for as long as possible. I went to an illegal tattoo parlor because I'm underage. My mom took me. She doesn't care. I've wanted one since I was 8. Now let's get back to yoga. I was already seated on the floor in the lotus position. You gonna join me? We glanced at each other. They replied, I don't think so, in unison. Heidi jumped up and grabbed her notebook.
I'll write down what you do.
I lay on my back on the floor with my legs spread and my arms to my side. This is called the corpse pose. It's a relaxation pose. You start in it, end in it, and go into it after most of the asanas. Heidi talked as she wrote.
Corpse pose.
I sat in the lotus position. This is the lotus, but you'll be sitting in a cross-legged position. You'll do a breathing exercise called Kapalabhati.
Kalapalapli?
Heidi tried to repeat. You'll take one deep breath, then exhale sharply 20 times. Don't worry about the inhalation. Your lungs will do that automatically. Then inhale and hold it for the count of 10. Repeat this 5 times. I began demonstrating.
Breathe funny.
Heidi wrote some more notes. Sammy started giggling. All right. You think this is a joke? I don't have to teach you, but I will finish. You can leave. Go watch TV. I don't need an audience. Sammy's head snapped back as if I'd slapped her. Heidi leaned over and said,
Don't worry about Diana. She's a bit of a hothead. You get used to it, or you fight her. Either way, she grows on you.
I shot Heidi a bird and blew Sammy a kiss while I was doing my leg lifts. Then I finished my yoga without any more attempts at instruction. We spent the next hour watching TV and waiting for Heidi's parents to return. Around 6, we headed for El Shaddai, holiest of church. We got there an hour early, so we blew up balloons, decorated the Sunday school rooms and the main sanctuary, and set up tables in the vestibule for food.